Hi, it's me again. I've said it before, I'll say it again. £169.50 is a lot of money to a lot of people, and that's how much the TV licence fee is. I'm sure you already know that. Going up, though, it's going up this year. So I think it's important that we keep an eye on what the BBC is doing with your money. And it's your money, don't forget. Now, they might have had a bit of a win over the Christmas viewings. Good for them. You know, even a broken clock's right twice a day, innit? Unless it's digital, obviously. Let's have a look at this, because this is how much respect they have for your money. Furia's BBC Director General Tim Davie spent nearly a month at plush London hotel instead of commuting back to his £4 million Oxfordshire home. Tough at the top. It's tough at the top, isn't it? Tim Davie couldn't be asked, apparently, I haven't read the whole article yet, have I? But according to that headline, he couldn't be asked to drive back, or have a driver, probably, take him back to his home in Oxford, which isn't that far in the grand scheme of things, is it? So he let your money, your household, coughing up the £169.50. That's who paid for those hotels. Let's have a look. Licence fee payers have picked up the tab for his repeated stays at the 4-star hotel, as well as other overnight accommodation in the capital. In total, Tim Davie spent more than 30 nights in hotels in London in the previous financial year, the majority of which were at the same one. The BBC must have drivers employed. I might do an FOI. They never answer my FOIs though, but I might do one for that. Worst case scenario, have you seen the taxi bill for the BBC? Why couldn't he have rinsed that out? I still wouldn't have agreed with it. Would that be cheaper than a night in a 4-star hotel, a taxi to Oxford? Probably would, right? Knowing London, because these probably would have been weekends when he had functions to attend or something, which would have put the price up even more. I'm not sure I'm okay with this. I'm not a licence fee payer. I haven't got a dog in the fight with this one. I can only call it for what it is, which sounds like taking the piss to me, because you can't be asked to go home. I have to go to events for work. Quite often, this morning I had to drive bloody miles. I'd have loved to have got a hotel to stay there so I can have a few drinks and enjoy the events of the day. But no, I have to drive about. Sorry, because that's work, isn't it? Mr. Davie, who is paid £525,000 by the BBC, and important at this point to say he used to be the boss of BBC Studios, the private commercial profit-making wing of the BBC. How he's allowed to trade under that name, don't know. I've talked about it many times. He earned more money there. And in defence again, which is rare for me, for Tim Davie, the boss of ITV gets paid in the millions for a similar role. So, He's thought to have spent more than 3,000 on stays at the luxury hotel. It still hasn't named this luxury hotel, has it? Which the Mail has chosen not to name, booked through the BBC's central booking system. Analysis of public documents suggests he spent 26 nights at this hotel throughout the 23 to 24 financial year, including some 2-night stays. Didn't even want to go home. Trouble at home, Tim? His main office is Broadcasting House near Oxford Street. I've seen it in real life. It's dramatic. On some of the most expensive land in the country, if not the world. I don't know why they need that. He is known to live near Henley-on-Thames. Lovely. Very nice. About an hour's drive from his office in central London. Right, okay. So he can't be asked to drive an hour home. Or he's had a drink, because it'll be an event or some kind of meeting which would have required a glass of probably quite decent wine, paid for by you, the licence fee payers, once again, because it's a business expense. And he couldn't go the hour home. Couldn't get his wife to come pick him up. One of his kids, has he got kids? Couldn't get a mate to come pick him up. Couldn't get a BBC driver to drop him home. No, need a 2-night stay in a lovely hotel. Something tells me Tim Davie doesn't want to go home. It has also emerged that the corporation's £310,000 a year chief financial officer, Alan Dickson, who oversees the BBC's expenditure, spent about 65 nights staying in London hotels. The chief financial officer spunking your money up the wall. The chief financial officer. What could you possibly be doing as a chief financial officer that requires you to spend 65 nights in hotels in London, paid for by the licence fee payer? How? And that included 12 nights in the same hotel, which was Mr. Davie's favourite, and unnamed for some reason. Why it's unnamed, don't know. Well, I know why, because we'd all rinse the Google reviews on it, wouldn't we? Mr. Dickson, the chief financial officer, is understood to be based in Glasgow, despite the fact that the corporation's main base is in London. So is his office in London? Does he work primarily out of London? Or is he based from home? Or is he based in, BBC Scotland, have offices up that way, don't they? I don't know. I've had to work away from home a few times, and you do get put up in a hotel. I understand that. My company has offices all over the world, and sometimes you have to be put up in a hotel. Is it a nice 4-star hotel in a city centre location that I get? No. The flashiest hotel I've ever been put in for work purposes is a travel lodge in Birmingham. But then again, I'm not chief financial officer in charge of looking after the company's finances, am I? Former leader of the Conservative Party, Sir Ian Duncan Smith, branded the amount of overnight stays as astonishing for someone who lives in striking distance of London. Probably the only thing I've ever agreed with Sir Ian Duncan Smith about. It is astonishing. An hour home. Glasgow man, all right. Okay, I don't agree with it. I don't understand why he has to spend so much time in London if he's based in Glasgow. If your work requires you to be in London a lot, move. Move, man. Or whatever. Tim Davie lives within an hour drive of central London. It's not like he has to pay for parking or anything. It all comes free when you're on the gravy train, doesn't it? Go home, Tim. Go home to your wife. Ian Duncan Smith also said, "This is simply intolerable. There ought to be a serious inquiry by the BBC internally into the money they are hemorrhaging through these types of costs." Yeah, all right, Sir Ian Duncan Smith. Let's have an internal serious inquiry run by the BBC. I wonder who could run that. I don't know. I think the chief financial officer would be the right guy for the job, don't you? So let's give him another couple of weeks in London in a 4-star hotel so we can run an inquiry as to why he's spending so much time in hotels in London. It's ridiculous. ITV, I'm sure, put up loads of people in hotels. I'm sure they do. I'm sure Channel 4 do. I'm sure all the TV channels do that. I don't have a problem with it. Do you know why? They pay their own way in the world. This is your money. People are struggling to pay their heating bills at the moment. It's insane, the energy costs in this country compared to other countries. Video for another day. They're trying to find £169.50 a year to pay the licence fee because they either watch broadcast TV or they feel like they have to pay it. And this is the level of respect that the BBC has for your money. It's unacceptable. I don't want to be flogging a dead horse here with this story. We've pretty much covered it, but there's a bit more stuff in here. Analysis of BBC expenses data from the earlier financial year of 22 to 23 reveals Mr. Davie spent even more time at the hotel he frequented most, more than 30 days in that period. His overall London stays are also higher. So, all right, he's come down a bit. He's saved a couple of nights in a hotel. Thanks, Tim. Mr. Dickson, the BBC's chief financial officer, and he takes good care of the money of the BBC, racked up a bill of £1,600 in just over a month at the hotel where Mr. Davie stayed most. How many of you out there pay your licence fee? Because I know some people who watch this channel do still pay the licence fee. £1,600, that's about minimum wage, isn't it? Take home now, maybe a little bit over. £1,600 a month. I know people that live on £1,600 a month. The chief financial officer of the BBC puts that up the wall in hotels. He spent 12 nights there across March and April of 24. This was made up of 4 3-night stints at the hotel. Mr. Dickson in November 23 had 5 nights at a Marble Arch hotel. Lovely. I wouldn't mind staying in a Marble Arch hotel, costing £600, followed by a 4-night stay in Shepherd's Bush later that month for an economical £57.50 a night. So that's where BBC Studios are based. They're still based out of Shepherd's Bush, I believe, aren't they? They've got an office there. £57.50 a night. I'm all right with that. I'm not going to dig you out at all, Chief Financial Officer Mr. Dickson. Sometimes you need to travel for work. And I get that if you're at the top of the tree, you've got to stay in better places than your average employee. Or do you? £57.50 a night for you to travel to work or for work, I'm okay with, as long as you're not doing it too often. If you're required to be in London a lot, move. Mr. Dickson spent about 65 nights in London hotels in the financial year, totalling nearly £8,000. Okay, so 8,000 divided by £169.50 is... Did I type that in right? Yeah. 47 households paying their television licence fee for him to be in hotels. 47 households worth of TV licence fees could have gone to programming. Could have gone to upping the wage of the tea lady or the cleaner. Doing something more productive than sticking these people in luxury hotels. Don't know. I don't know. You've heard what I've got to say about it. What do you think about it? I'm sure the BBC do check out this channel and read some of the comments, so let them know what you think about this down below. Am I well wrong here? Let me know down in the comments. While you're down there leaving your comment, hit all the buttons as well, like, subscribe, all of that. It helps the channel. And if you do all of that, hopefully I'll get to see you in another video again soon, won't I? Ta-da.